face. She don't fuck with baby daddies, fucking up the feng shui. Taking care of 4 kids, Sunday to Sunday. Flyer and round trips when she hit the runway. Comedy original, she do shit her own way. Make the stage her place, moving at her own pace. Fuck with her the wrong way, this gon' be a long day. She watch basketball, wives, loving hip hop too. Born in 81, one day forward turned to 82. Funky, ratchet, and cute. She a winner, that's true. She don't even take L's, eating alphabet soup. Mayday, mayhem, 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 Mayday, mayhem. She a cool black nerd, always been smart. Ever since she turned 8, wanted her name in the charts. Monty Python was a shit, Richard Pryor made a start. Red Fox and Eddie Murphy, inspiration to her art. Who you know got banned from the dollar store for throwing canned goods at a baby father though. She a good mother though. She ain't worried about laughs cause she gon' get a lot of those. Showtime at the Apollo though. And she paint the perfect picture telling stories up in all the jokes. You don't really want the drama, bro. Cause Mabel cool, Mayday nice, Mayday want all the smoke. Mayday, mayhem, Mayday, mayhem, Mayday, mayhem, Mayday, mayhem, Mayday, mayhem, Mayday, mayhem, Mayday, mayhem.
And hello. How are y'all doing? I know it's been a long time since y'all have heard from me. And main reason is the topic of my video tonight, which is fibromyalgia. I have fibromyalgia on top of being a mother of 4. And it's a disease. Well, it's not really a disease. It's more like what would you classify as it's almost an autoimmune disease, but I have to see a rheumatologist to have my medication and to even get diagnosed. And fibromyalgia is one of these illnesses, so to say, that you get that it takes a long time of testing. Like the first time they thought it was multiple sclerosis or lupus because the symptoms are similar. Okay, for instance, like with lupus, you have a rash on your, like the bridge of your nose, like on your face around like your little T-zone area. Or you may even have the they'll do an x-ray of your lungs and it might, what they say, like an angel in there, because it's like, looks like almost like a mass and like wings. But I had none of those symptoms, but I did have a rash, and they thought, well, maybe it is lupus. So they went to so many treatments for years and years. And finally, I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia, which pretty much is I have tender spots on my body and the nerves are just always inflamed. Like sometimes my attacks last like a month. Like I be in pain for literally a month, but it's just in the spots, what they would call quote unquote tender spots. Like mine are mostly in my chest and my hips. One hip more than the other, but those are mostly tender spots that it always aches, it's always pain, and it always hurts. So, you have to take anti-inflammatory medication for that, which I do take anti-inflammatory medication for it. And sometimes it helps, sometimes it doesn't. Still, when I have an attack, like my joints swell. So usually when you have attack, like about last year sometime I had an attack and it was in my hands. and literally my hand was visibly bigger than the other. You can visibly tell that my hand was huge, and I was literally having an attack. And sometimes when you have an attack, and if it's bad enough, they will give you a cortisone shot, but they go in between the joints of wherever it's hurting at. And those shots are painful too. But either way it go, fibromyalgia is an illness where you're constantly in pain. Like you're stiff, fatigue. Sometimes you have a cough, but it depends. And it's one of those it's not like a hacking cough, it's more like a kind of like what I just did, clear voice type of cough, like phlegm type thingy, but it's not phlegm. It's just the feeling of it. It's hard to explain how it feels to have fibromyalgia, but it is very painful. And with the pain, excuse me, comes onset of depression, because you're so used to being in pain, and it's always so painful that you start getting depressed about it, because it do you know how hard it is being in pain literally 24/7, 365, constantly in pain, constantly in pain, constantly in pain. And then when it does ease up, you might be stiff for a little while, and then again the stiffness goes away, then the joints might start hurting, so that means more medication. And that brings me to 420. You hear me? And why it's very good. Um, it's very good. 420 is good for fibromyalgia. It really is. Why do I say that? Because when you put all these different drugs in your body, it's it's putting more chemicals in your body, and your body should be able to heal and repair itself. Now, in my case, like I said, my joints sometimes swell up. Sometimes in my hands, I must be having a really bad attack for my hands to swell up. But 420 definitely does help. Marijuana really does help, because it does ease the pain, and different strands do different things, far as your body goes. You know, if you take away some of the pain, then some of the depression goes away, and you are a little bit more happier, and you're not in much pain, and you're able to focus more and concentrate more, and be more productive. Because, like I said, it can be very hard having fibromyalgia, and especially when you're going through that painful stage, because, like I said, you get depressed. And with depression, you don't want to do anything. You don't want to get out the bed. You don't want to. You're just real sluggish. But that's just the side effects of having it. Now, what do I do to combat my fibromyalgia? Exercise is awesome for fibromyalgia. It really is. As bad as you may feel, or as much as it may hurt, um, the exercise really does help the fibromyalgia. It really helps. And I didn't believe that it helped until I actually did it. And I'm like, oh, snap. It really does help. And I found that out, of course, years ago, because when you have fibromyalgia, sometimes you have to go through physical therapy in order to learn new ways to work out these different muscles and points in your body. So, I do, of course, my therapy. I do my exercise, which does help alleviate the pain. because I guess it's the stretching motion. You're stretching the muscles and getting them, ready to move and circulate and get the blood pumping through them and everything like that. So, walking is good. Massages, deep tissue massages are the best. Like, I totally cannot wait until this coronavirus is over so I can go and get me a good deep tissue massage. Like, they are the best. Like, off the chain. Like, no doubt. So, I would just want to come and check in with you guys. I will be back tomorrow around the same time, about 10, and we will be talking about love and hip hop. ATL, baby. Mm, we got to catch up because it's been popping on now. And usually I probably will be coming on at this time every night around 10. Like I said, with the coronavirus around and out, and the kids are home, so they're pretty much homeschooled now. So I'm a teacher now from pretty much 8 a.m. till about 3. Give them some extra work, even though the state really qualifies them to go to school 2 hours. They go to school the whole day in my house. They had a little recess or whatever where, you can watch TV or go play a game for a few minutes, especially if it's too cold or whatever outside. Or like right now, of course, it's nighttime, but a few days ago in Chicago, it was snow on the ground. So depending on the weather or what's going on, let them go outside for their quote unquote recess. Then they eat their lunch, their dinner, get ready for bed, and get up the next morning as though they're going to school. So I think this is a nice and solid time for me around 10:30. It's just a nice, good, solid time. So I will be talking to you guys tomorrow. Have a good night. Be blessed and stay safe.